So now it's time to create our post component that we have the file but is currently empty. So let me show you what we have. Okay, you can see that we have this, and when we click this, we are being redirected to this post and the ID, but we're not handling that with a component. So let's actually build it. So I'm going to copy 3 things here because okay, we already know what these things are. React, use effect, use state, and use ref. Okay, from React, redirect from React router, and Firebase from our configuration. Constant post is going to be equal to a function, and we're going to return right now only a React fragment, React.fragment that says post works, something like that. And we're going to say export default post. Now let's go to the routes that is down here and add our post. So let's say import post from components post, and let me copy one of these, paste it so we can get the post ID, and let me move my mouse so you can see, and this is going to use the post component. So we have that. We're going to expect an ID that we already have that, and this should be the end for our round. So let's close that. Let's close the index right now. Let's close our post context that is set here. The index, we are not going to touch that anymore. And the reducer, if you want to add more cases, you are free to do it. You are going to add them here inside this file. And well, this should work. Just save that and let's click one of these, and we get the post works. So this is going to be, I think, a short video because I'm just going to add and to create the default functionality, and we're going to then edit and delete the post. Okay, so I'm just going to build this component, and I'm going to copy some things. Okay, if you follow my other tutorials, this is almost the same. We're going to use timer and set timer because sometimes with the state it takes a little to change and we don't want to display an old image. Okay, so in case I click this one, it's going to show that image, and if I go back and click this one, first it's going to show this one, and it's going to take less than a second, and it's going to update the state and change to this one. Okay, so we don't want that to happen. Well, it's going to happen, but we don't want to see that. Okay, so we set a timer to handle that. With the initial state of false, we have the edit mode and set edit mode that is going to toggle the display of the form, the user state, and the is busy that is going to show the loader and the post, because we're going to set the post. Okay, you are going to add these references that are title ref, content ref, and file ref. We're going to use ref in order to get the values of the form and add them, okay, into our post, so you can actually update those. Let me copy all these two. We're going to get, or we're going to set the post ID, okay, to be equals. Right now we could say that we want the prop match params ID, that this is coming from the URL. Okay, so using that we're going to get this part of the URL, and remember that inside our rounds we said that we wanted the ID. Okay, so this ID should match what you are calling here, the naming. So we are going to set, you can set it here like this, but let's set it to an empty string and add it later. And also our redirections, okay? So we're going to add the getPost function that is actually a constant in getPost async. We're going to pass an ID that is post ID, and right now we're just going to say oh, we already have our functionality, right? Post constant, let's say underscore post equals to await Firebase Firestore. We're already fetching our post inside what I say first? Firebase, what the hell? Firebase that sorry, get post. Okay, so we already have this function inside our configuration. We're going to pass the ID that we're going to pass to this function, and we can say catch error like this, like this. Let's remove that, and here we can say console.log error and return the error in case we want to return that. Okay, and let's say constant. We can also say set post to post and handle it like this. Okay, so it's going to return a post, and we're going to use set post to set the post. From this, we're going to get the values and pass them into the reference. Well, not into the reference, but into the form. Okay, so we can edit those. Okay, so this should work. And we're going to say use effect. And here we're going to call or get post. Give me a second, let me scroll a little bit. No, what we're going to do first is to set the timer. Let's actually add all this crap first. We're going to change it to true. Remember that the initial state is false. And we're going to set the post ID here, because we're going to use that later, to the props that match that params that ID. Okay, so that's setting the ID into our state, and we're going to say get post, and we actually need to call this again because right now the state is not going to be updated. As I said, you can change this and add it as an initial state. It's going to work. Okay, here on line 17, but I'm just doing it like this so you can see. And now right now we're just going to say set timeout to be a function that is going to return, or is going to set the timer to false after a second. Okay, so inside here is going to complain that we are missing something, so let's actually add what it's going to complain about. So it's going to complain that we need this in order for React to understand what is changing. Okay, but this is not going to change unless we we select another post. So this is going to be fine. Now I'm just going to get the redirect, copy that and paste it. Okay, it's the same redirection we've been doing, and I think that should be it. Okay, so let's save this and let's see what I have. Probably it's not defined because I need props here. Okay, it's going to say that I'm not using anything. So let's actually come here and console. Let's console log or post like that and see what we have. We have the content. Okay, you can see that we are fetching something, so let's remove that and let's actually try to display what we have. So I'm going to do something here, okay, because the way I'm returning that is similar to the other tutorials that I've made, and I'm actually setting. So it's a, well, let's do it. Let me paste this. Okay, so this is the current post, an edit button and delete button. Okay, so you will see how this is going to work, because right now we are going to get ready what we're going to display here on line 54. So constant update current post update is going to be equals to an event. Okay, we're going to set everything here, so the last video is only going to have the way of plugging in the functionality. We still don't have the update or delete. Okay, so we have this event that prevent default. The set is busy right now because this function is going to get the information and call the update. Okay, so right now we're not going to add anything here. So let's let's go to the config and create only the function with a console. So we have that and we can display our information. So let's say here, just let me get that, because this is the update function that we're going to create. I just need the naming. So this is going to be an async update post. We're going to pass the post ID and the post data, that is an object that we're going to create. So we're going to say console.log post ID post data. Right now, let's just call it without the async. Okay, but it's going to be an async function. So we have that, and let's actually add the delete post function so it doesn't complain that we are calling things that, you know, because we're going to add the functionality here in the component later, but we're going to set all the functionality that handles the busy state right now. So we need this. So this delete post is only going to have the post ID and the file ref. Okay, because we need to delete the file. So let's say console.log post ID and file ref. Okay, so let's get that. So we have those two there, just simple consoles. And let me go back. I don't know why it closes again my. Okay, so we have on the update, okay, line 49. So here, let's add here, we're going to create the object, and below here we're going to say we're going to add some information, but let's say update post. So we have those already, and Let's set is busy. Let's do it like this. Set is busy to false. We're going to add that later, and set redirect to true. Okay, these two are going to go inside our promise, but let's just keep those there. We're going to change that. Now we're going to have the function edit, or let's say toggle edit mode equals to use a function, and the set edit mode is going to be to true. No, sorry, to the inverse to what it is. So just like that. And we're going to have this constant and delete current post equals to a function, and we're going to here call or delete post function that we have inside our config. We're not going to plug that yet, and that's it. Now we're going to say let update, not like this, update form, because we're going to create now the form. So we're going to say if edit mode, meaning that if edit mode is true, we're going to say delete button that we have defined up there equals to a button. Let me just get this. Class name delete, on click is going to run the delete current post, and we're going to do the another checking inside this. If is busy, then we're going to say update form is going to be equals, so let's wrap this into parentheses, and let's copy this. If it's busy, meaning that we just perform the update function, we're going to get this loader, and else, meaning that we haven't done anything, we're going to return, or not return, but say update form to be equals, let's wrap it also. So I'm going to copy this, okay. Okay, I missed the fragment. And I'm just going to explain what this thing is doing. Okay. So I said that we were going to use the useRef, and the way we use, okay, let me just get this thing. Okay. The way we use the useRef is that we define inside our inputs this ref property, okay, and we assign what we have. Let me see where we have that here, okay. The names we have there, so it creates the reference of the input, and the default value is going to come from the post. That, remember that we are setting a post. Let me see. Okay, we are setting the post here on line 26 that we have here on line 11. Okay, so we're setting the post, and all the information that we are getting, or that we are getting from Firebase, is going to be stored inside that post, inside the state. Okay, and we call default value because default value is going to allow us to change the inputs, okay, the values of the inputs. If we say a value like this, it's not going to allow us to change because we don't have an on-change. And the reference allows us to not have that on-change, okay, that on-change event. So let's save this, and the delete button, okay, we are only going to assign the delete button, and here that, remember that the delete button is on line 72. So this one is kinda you know, out there, and we're going to add it into the DOM like this. We have some more code to add. If you don't understand mostly what this thing is doing, just check the other tutorials, because I show you how how this works. But since I've been doing this, you know, I did it with Redux, I think, and then with only React, you know. I think there's enough information on those that also is going to help you. So yeah, if you also, if you need to ask something, just let me know and I will try to help you. But yeah, I'm not going to go too in depth with this because I already explained that several times on the other tutorials. So let's say current post that we have is going to be, so let's wrap this. So we are going to check if timer, okay, is true, we're going to display the loading, and else we're going to add or post. So let me copy this. Well, we have current post equals, let's wrap this, and let me just copy this, copy and paste. So okay, so if timer is set to true, it's going to load, or it's going to display this loading, and if not, it's going to display the rest of the information, that is the post cover, the post title, and the post content. Okay, so now after all that crap, we only need to change this to current post, because we are importing everything else inside this current post. So let's check if this works. Okay, you can see that, let me refresh. Okay, we get this loading post, blah 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 blah, and then we get the content of the post. Okay, so let's go back here, we do this loading, and we get the content of the post. Okay, I think we are done with that, but we're not displaying the edit. And why? Okay, because I need to do something. Okay, remember that we have the user state, we have it defined here on line 9, so we're going to set that, and this one is inside or a current post, not inside, but inside this else. So let me check where we have server direct. So let's add it here so we can have the edit, and we are going to check that. So we're going to say if, that I can remember where we are setting that, but if we don't have that set, we're going to set it. User state. Okay, if we have this set, we're going to say edit button that we already have is going to be equals to a button. Control V, Control C. Okay, to this button that is going to on click run this, not edit post, but I call it toggle edit mode. Let's copy this and let's paste it. Okay, so we don't have that because we're checking for the user state. So let's see if this works. Let's log in. 1 2 3 4 5 6. Let's get this one. Okay, we still don't have that because we are not setting, or I'm not setting the user state. So let me see. Okay, because we need to do something inside our use effect here, that we are going to check Firebase. Okay, let me remove that. That we have a function that checks for the user state. That then, and if the user is login, is going to return a user. If not, user is going to be null. So if user, then what we're going to do is set user state to the user, just like that. Save this, and we are login, and you can see we have this edit post. If we click this, it's going to display the form with the post content. Okay, so that is working. Just let me add, before I finish this, inside the index. So let me add the styling for this. So this is after posts. I'm going to add the nav styling right now. Control C, and let's add it here. Okay, let me just save to see if it works. Okay, we have this. So for you to copy, we have this nav nav.ul list A, nav.ul list, and the last one is nav.ul first of type list first of type. Okay, let me get also, so we can have this kind of working. Let me get some more styling that we're going to add above this. Okay, so we have that. We can come back here. Okay, we have that. We have this background that is only fetching from that. And let me show you, this is the HTML body with the transformation. I need to delete the other one I have here. Okay, that's still working. So HTML body all header like this. Okay, it's just applying send, and you can use whatever image you want or whatever background. This is only to show something. Header div and header div h1, header div p, and processing. So let's save this. We already know what we have, and just give me a second. I need to cut this video, and we will see you. I will see you in the next one. Okay.